This the TempahZone podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're listening to this podcast right here. It is episode 60 of the TempahZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts, a.k.a. Mr. Versatile, a.k.a. Young Stephen A. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, for episode 60, this is the right way to do it because I got two guests up in here that I really fuck with. These guys have serious work ethic, serious rappers who got actual bars over bars. You see what I did there? Yeah, they also got the Bars for Bars going on right now too, helping artists get shows out here, and I think that's really dope as well. So doing more than just putting out music out here, actually trying to grow the community and the rap scene out here. So I really mess with that. Not just the rap scene, it's the music scene in general, because, you know, artists are versatile here, so you guys are doing your thing out here, and I appreciate that, man. I got Greyhound with me. I got Hero with me. Yeah. What's going on, y'all?
What's happening? How we doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm happy to have y'all. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
we're doing
man.
good. We're doing good.
Yeah.
This is dope. I've had Hero on before, but this is Greyhound's first time
Yes,
on
it is.
here,
It's my
so
first time here.
I'm happy to have you on, man. I think that's really dope, man. We've been in talks for a bit, man. Definitely.
We have, yeah.
Definitely been chopping up with you. I know you've been talking to Hero, so it's good to be
Of course,
in communication, getting stuff popping, man. So I think that's really dope, though. I want to ask you guys about Bars Over Bars, though. What made you guys decide to get that going? Who was the one that initiated the idea?
I mean, interestingly enough, I'm not really sure. I don't remember. If anything, it's probably Hero.
Oh, it was
but
totally me.
It was definitely okay. So it's definitely Hero.
Hero was sitting there waiting like, I'm the one.
Hero definitely had the idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting though. So basically, I guess the logic behind it is that like we wanted to have our own show. We want to do our own thing. We don't want to be boxed in by like a promoter that is unreliable about when you're going on stage and stuff like that. And just being at the stage in the game we're at now, it's that sort of thing's gonna happen. It's kind of inevitable unless you kind of put yourself in this position to make shit happen for yourself. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But
you got to fill it in, you know. So and it makes it easier, and you guys got it rolling good. So it's good to see that, man. But what were you gonna say, Hero?
Between me and Greyhound, I mean, we probably did 100 shows last year, which is fucking a lot.
Yeah, y'all were.
That's a lot of shows.
Crazy with the shows.
And we found that the best shows to be a part of were with the most artists who took themselves seriously. You know, left the back and shit at home, didn't read off their phone, which happens quite a lot. I don't know why that would happen a lot, but we were also sick of paying for slots, $400 for an 8-minute slot. Who the fuck wants to do that?
Yeah.
You know, we're putting these shows on for the artists and by the artist, and we just want to give Boston and New England and hopefully the whole country an alternative to just come and rock the mic. You don't got to pay. You don't got to sell tickets. Just bring a few heads and have a good time.
Yeah,
you know.
Nah, I hear you, man. And I definitely think a lot of artists don't mention that part of the shows where you gotta, you know, you're paying to perform, and you want to, you know, hopefully you make your money back, sell the tickets. Some people don't, and therefore they're paying to perform, and so for you guys stepping in there on that, I think that's really dope too.
Yeah.
So giving everyone a shot.
I have actually kind of an interesting perspective on that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
think,
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so like paying to perform is something I've done, you know what I mean, and I understand it. You know, I'm not even entirely against it because like when we book art, we obviously pay for the venue. You know what I mean? But I think maybe the reason certain artists aren't so open about the fact that that's part of the process. A lot of people want to appear more poppin' than they are. They want to,
of course, yeah.
And that's just kind of not even just artists, like people trying to get somewhere, and just like you want to have that image of like, look, this promoter fucking booked me, but when in reality you probably had to reach out to them, and then they're like, here's the invoice, which is, you know, that everyone kind of goes through that stage. It's just like a building block in the process of kind of getting to where you want to be.
Yeah, I think you put that in a very good way, man, because I definitely feel like most artists won't just say the stuff that you just said. Like, even when you guys talk about, like, as soon as you brought up like the pain of perform, I was like, oh, okay, we brought that up. Oh, okay. Some artists don't want to bring it up. I will, in certain situations, don't bring that up to every person I talk to, just because you just don't, you know. Like sometimes you can't tell people everything. Like I've talked to people about it before in terms of being on Spotify or Apple Music. Like, so you don't need to tell people how easy it is to do that. You just let them know, and if they find you, they take you more seriously because of that, then word, you know. It's not like you're lying about anything. You're just not, you know, saying like, yeah, it's not that hard to get on there. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I see where y'all coming from with that though. But yeah, man, what do you guys got planned for Bars for Bars in terms of like the next shows though?
We got in a week from today. Today's the 15th.
Mm-hmm. Six days from today.
Okay, today's the 16th. Yeah, so 6 days from today, we have the New Hampshire show with with Dwilly, Just for Kicks, Aaron Brown.
Yeah, I remember everybody now.
Young Silva, Mike Wing, Chatham the Sun, and then I believe it's us.
These two doofuses, Hero and Greyhound, they're on that shit too.
That's it. And then we got a bunch of other shows. We got the one with you in March.
Yes, sir. I'll be performing there, y'all.
We got.
When is that? March 13th, 14th?
12th.
March 12th. Okay, March 12th. Yeah.
We just booked.
Okay, I got it. I know now.
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah.
We just got a Providence show booked.
Okay.
For the end of March.
Yeah. End of March.
Hell yeah.
Then April, we're back at the Dorchester Art Project. We got a show in Maine in May, so we're like way ahead of the curve.
Okay, hell yeah.
So we have from now until May, until the end of May, we have like 7-8 shows booked.
Yeah, and that's just bars over bars too.
That's just bars over bars. I mean, from now until May, I have almost, including the bars over bar stuff, I have almost 20 things lined up.
There you go.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yo, y'all hear that right now? All right, these guys got shows lined up like crazy. Like there's shows out there y'all can book. All right. People always saying it's hard to find shows. I'm just like, yo, you ain't trying hard enough, man. You ain't reaching out enough. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I definitely feel like you guys are doing your best to reach out to people. Do you ever get nervous, like trying to reach out to others? You guys just going, hitting up whoever?
Me, I do not.
No?
I think it's interesting. Like, so it depends who like, if I were to reach out to like someone that's obviously not going to hit me back, I just kind of expect them not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that doesn't really happen. I mean, I don't know. The artists we're working with are kind of like on our level.
Yeah,
but
I hear you.
I just think, which this might be kind of unrelated, I think like one of the key things I've kind of learned in my like journey with music so far, like going to shows, all these events and stuff. When I've met bigger artists, bigger producers and stuff, they don't want you to treat them as like some big shot. You know what I mean? They want you to treat them as a person, as the homie, as whatever. So like, and if you are just going there to treat them as like,
like you're
like
popping,
your idol,
like help me out. Yeah.
Then they see you're desperate or whatever, and they might not want to fuck with you. So, but anyway, back to the shows thing. Like, personally, no, I don't know. I don't want to take over the whole conversation.
No. I hear you, man. No, we got time. Yeah. I hear you there for sure, man. I mean, it's definitely I only ask because I feel like some people do get nervous to hit just up anybody. Like they'll type in like, I'll get to it another time. Like just people do that stuff. So and I definitely think it's important to just connect, network. I think that's very important. I'm assuming you don't get nervous either here.
Not anymore. No.
Yeah.
No.
Was that ever an obstacle for y'all? Like
for me, it like
in the past.
Like what Greyhound said. I mean, I've been talking to Rex, who's a phenomenal Boston artist, and he's like in my top 10. So I gotta like not fucking geek out when I'm talking to him because he's in my top 10. Greyhound's like, calm down, like he's just a guy. I'm like, he's not just a guy. But it used to be something that I was nervous about, but I've just been treating artists and producers and promoters like people.
Man.
And if they think that they're higher above everyone else, then I'm probably not going to continue talking to them. But me and him, I mean, we send hundreds, if not thousands, of messages a day. Just to people, and most of the time they're people we haven't even talked to.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get out there. We're trying to send messages, recruit as many people as possible, and just bring Boston back.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I feel that, bro. I feel that, and connect with the right people and just grow something organic. I think that goes a long way. And I think you guys are in the process of definitely getting that going, man. So I think that's really dope.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, Greyhound, since it's your first time being on here, man, I want to ask you some of your inspirations in your music, man, because I could totally see the direction in terms of artists you have really inspired you. But I want you to let the people know who are some artists you've been really messing with.
I've been
just growing up.
With. Growing up, I mean, I'm gonna give you that stereotypical white rapper answer of Eminem.
Eminem. Go.
That's the first rapper that got me into hip hop. Eminem. When I was about 12, I really got into hip hop. He put out that Recovery Project right when I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and I don't know. I just really started fucking with it, and then I got into Kanye. So this is like real young, and I definitely fuck with both of those artists heavy still. So
those are some goats right there, man, for sure.
Yeah, but then kind of over the years, when I was probably about 13 or 14, I started exploring. Lyricism always like grabbed me, and
for sure,
like,
definitely.
So like Big L is one of my favorites. Big Pun, like that. Because like every time people talk about, like, this is no disrespect to like like anybody, but everyone talking about like Biggie and Tupac are like those two great artists that died, and obviously like they have their legacy. They're both great artists, but like people do sleep on Big L, Big Pun, Guru, who I know Hero will like me shouting out. He's dope. Definitely a Gangstar
That's my guy.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, I think Biggie and Tupac are definitely some of the greatest rappers of all time. Don't get me wrong, but like for me, Big Pun and Big L are both in my top 10. More recently though, like I'm a big J. Cole fan. And I like everything. Like I'm a lyricist. I would consider myself a lyricist. I do listen to a lot of stuff, not even just rap for sure. Like
you gotta expand, out there, for sure, man. Speaking of which, though, outside of hip hop, what are some genres you guys delve into every now and then? I'm curious. Because you guys are very in your rap bag, so like in terms of your music. So what would you guys say some stuff outside of hip hop have you been looking into recently?
So I like a lot of 80s pop. Michael Jackson, Prince, like that's where like a lot of my, because my mom was listening to a lot of that stuff, and that's where a lot of my main inspirations come from. Not just hip hop. I love 80s pop and 80s R&B and stuff like that because I fucking love sampling shit.
And then you got some dope shit when you go back, and it's always dope to like dig into like artists that like not the super big names. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like you be finding some crazy shit,
I'll just go to Cheapo Records right in Cambridge, and I'll just grab like $10 records and just
there you go.
Bring them home and spin them. See what I got.
Find something crazy, man. I think that's really dope, man. But I know in terms of like what you guys have been putting out in general, you guys have definitely been on your hustle with that. I was saying at the beginning of the podcast. I know with you, Greyhound, you got 4 songs dropping this month. Is that the game plan?
So the game plan, I guess I'll explain it a little bit. So I put out the song with Renton Thomas, Out of Time. We did a video that dropped on the 7th. Then the second song was not me as a lead artist. That was K-Bye. I did a verse for K-Bye.
Okay, I
and
saw
Marcini's
that,
also on that track. That's a dope song. It just dropped. Then I got a track with my guy Dire Spitfire that drops on the 21st. And then a track with my guy Young Steen, who's on the song Bars Over Bars which was on Maximum Carnage, Hero and 16 Bits project. But
that's just fire,
That's not even just this month. The goal is to put out a song weekly for a year. That's crazy.
Challenge
it might sound like a lot,
but
like I've been cooking a lot of stuff. I've got a ton of unreleased music already lined up through like a distributor to drop weekly.
So you ready
up until like about May at this point. So and obviously I'm I got stuff that's not fully mixed and stuff that's going to be coming out after that. So
damn, bro, you planning ahead, man. That's dope, bro. A song a week is tough, man. That is very tough. I think, in terms of doing a song a week, I feel like you got to have the resources to consistently put out music, and I'm assuming you do. So I think that's dope, man. And I think from what I've heard so far, it definitely seems like you punching every week. So that's good, man.
I want to give a shout out to my guy Yeti.
Shout out to him, man.
He's right there.
No. Yeti, I'll definitely let him know when this video drops. We've just been working like crazy in his lab. He's been producing some of my tracks. We've been working with other producers too, but he's just been recording and engineering me, and we've been like developing a sound.
And the more y'all work with each other, just something's just gonna grow out of that. So I think
absolutely,
y'all starting something up, and you just don't know where it's gonna take you. So might as well just keep going at, man. I think that's really dope, though, man. In terms of you, Hero, I know you just dropped Maximum Carnage.
Yes.
Explain the title of that project, man.
So
that's an intense name.
I met this producer called 16-Bit Spit, right? And he is fucking crazy with the samples, and he's dope, and he's got kind of like a unique sound where it sounds like a fucking video game soundtrack, honestly, when you dip into his catalog. And the name Maximum Carnage is the only game on the Super Nintendo that isn't like Superman or Batman or whatever. It's the only superhero game that isn't directly titled like after a superhero. So I figured I'm Hero, he's 16-Bit Spit. What video games have superheroes in them? And I found Maximum Carnage, and I mean we're hoping to get. I definitely want to do another project with him. I want to get that one out at the end of the year.
Hell yeah.
But Maximum Carnage is dope. I mean, it's 8 tracks. It's a small project. But what I've struggled with, especially with my first 2 albums, is that they kind of each track kind of blends into each other. And it's all dope music.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, it all kind of sounds the same. You know? And with Maximum Carnage, there's 8 tracks that separate each other very well. If you listen to each track, it's different. And you can pinpoint what's different about them.
Yeah, definitely. No, I hear that, man. Each track definitely stands out like in their own way, and I definitely hear you about that, man. In terms of a project you Greyhound, when was the last project that you dropped? It was back in August?
August.
Okay.
Yeah, August 9th, 2019.
Okay,
I dropped Out of the Shadows. Yeah, so like.
Hell yeah, man.
That was definitely dope.
Both y'all got projects out last year, man. Y'all cooking, man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Facts. Yeah.
Y'all need to get on. Before you get into say, y'all need to get your respect, man, out here in terms of the content y'all put out, man. I think a lot of artists out here aren't really like, I see a lot of people who put out music out here and then like they gone for 7 months. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, man, I know you you about this or not? Like, I know, I mean, gone for 7 months. Like, they ain't on social media. Like, they're just, I'm like, you gotta put something out here, man, if you're about it. But so I just think like it's good y'all got that content out there. But my bad to cut in, but
no worries.
Though, man.
Yeah, Out of the Shadows. That's a project I did throughout 2019. That took me a little while to do. And kind of. How
many tracks were on there? It was like 12, right?
It was 10. So
10? Okay, 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a good.
I'm happy with that project. I just felt the reason. Well, I guess I'll talk about the project before
for sure, man.
my new plan. So that's definitely a dope project. It's actually a concept project. Like it starts. It's got that John Wick song, which is just kind of like. I'm a dope rapper. It's got some of that boasting shit, but for the most part, the album's got Hide in the Light, which is like a kind of like a in line with a lot of my music where it's talking about like depression and shit like that. Just keeping myself in the beginning bars like hide in the light, but I breathe in the darkness. I can look good, but like no one knows what's going on inside.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So then. A lot of it's about that. There's definitely some like filler tracks, or not filler, but like palette cleanser, that aren't necessarily related to the theme. And it's a very dope project. I'm actually quite happy with it. Part of the reason, though, I guess I'm doing singles now is, I just kind of came out like I've learned a lot about how to market myself, and I still have a ton to learn. But since then, and I think like the project didn't get as many streams as I would have liked to. I kind of wanted to put it. I mean, it's good now. I got stuff in my catalog, so if people want to look me up, they see I got.
You got some tracks that you can back up.
But the thing with singles, it's like I sat on some of those records for months and months and months, and I performed them and stuff. But then it's like then I can't. Then someone can't go home and find it on the internet.
Yeah,
so
when it's hot, when it's fresh on their mind.
So I'm trying to just have stuff come out on the regular. And that way, if like a song flops or something, then it's like, all right, we're just gonna keep it moving. We don't gotta focus on that. So
I feel you. Yeah. No, it's tricky, man, to figure out what to do in terms of like putting out singles, or you just rock the EP route or the album route. It's very tricky to figure out which way to go and what will work. You just kind of have to. Just give it a try, each one. You know what I'm saying? Just see what happens. What for you, Hero? You focused on projects right now, or are you gonna go singles route? Which way you think you're taking it?
Projects,
yeah. No, I feel you on that.
No,
man.
I just think about ways that I try to put my music out the way that I listen to music. And,
for sure,
And I don't give a shit about singles. Yeah. I want to hear your novel. As an artist, I just want to listen. I want to read your music novel.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear that. Yeah, for sure. I just in terms of just what works, it all depends on the way you market yourself and the reach. Like because some people are like, oh, like why put out a 12-track album? Like who's gonna invest in that? But it's like. The upside is you have 12 songs now that people can listen to. Like, if it's dope, it's dope, and you just gotta promote it the right way at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Definitely don't put out a 24-track project if you're just because someone's gonna some of that might get slept on. But that's a little ridiculous. But definitely, I'd say 12. Like artists on our level, if you put out a project, that's probably the maximum amount, in my opinion. So they're definitely the best way to go about it. But yeah, man. In terms of stuff that you guys have going on, in terms of collabs, like you guys trying to get your collabs up more in the future? I know you are. In terms
definitely.
Yeah.
I already have been. Yeah. So this month, every song I have dropping is collabs.
Hell yeah, man.
Then me and my guy Young Steen, actually, we're going to be doing one song a month. Like, I'm going to be doing one every week, but one of those songs each month will be with him. And yeah, I definitely want to step the collabs up. There's a lot of dope artists just locally I'd like to work with. Some bigger names, that definitely. I obviously have in mind that would take me a long time to kind of build up to that level.
Yeah.
But, for now, yeah, definitely just working with some local talent and stuff like that. People I can just DM on Instagram or whatever, and whether they're local or not, as long as they're dope, and willing to work with me. So
whoever's willing to reach out there and trying to make something happen. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. What about you, Hero, in terms of getting the collabs up? I know on your last project you had a good amount of collabs on there, so.
I mean, me and you got a song coming out.
We do. I was gonna have you say it.
That shit's good. That shit's good.
We got one in the works.
Came in clutch with the cuts too.
That one's. I'm excited for that one. Now I need to see a song with you now, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we gonna make that happen.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah. After the show, we'll definitely talk about the direction we go in. Yeah. We both like the fast rap, so we can definitely see if we can implement that though. Speaking of fast rap, though, man, what's y'all opinion on how people critique fast rap nowadays, or just in general? What do you guys think about it? You think people are unfair about fast rap, or do you see where they're coming from? What's your take?
I see where they're coming from personally. I mean, I don't think it's all valid necessarily. I rap fast, if people have heard that Narrow track. I'm actually talking about some shit there, but then I got like this song Amen where I'm like just kind of talking about like how I rap and stuff like that. So sometimes, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it, because people want to criticize people who are kind of just rapping so slow or rapping with the kind of very like cliche triplet flow or whatever. And so there's it's kind of a matter of preference. I do think it can be I don't know. I just think some people might think that like there's only one, you can only enjoy one. And I think I can still think something's corny, but it can be dope, if that makes sense. Like
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So sometimes the fast shit, I don't know. I rap fast, so I like it, but I think people do make valid points against it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Some people don't appreciate, like, I think it's just in terms of like, appreciating it. But people like will just shit on. I'm like, how hard it is to come up with all those words and have it flow together. Like it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? But just because something is complex doesn't mean you should love it. You know what I mean? Like, but it depends on who you are and depends on how you look at it. But what do you think, Hero? What do you think of?
I think fast rap is cool.
Yeah.
It's whether you're fast or not, the lyrical content has to be there. I mean, and it can't be like a detour shit. Like you got to get from A to B.
Yeah.
And it's got to make sense. Even if you're rapping fast, for me personally, I find the faster I rap, the least intelligent things, the less intelligent things I have to say.
Absolutely.
Say and a lot, and I'm going in, stuff like that. You like, there's a word you say a lot in the fast rap. Sometimes you do that. Yeah.
If you can rap fast and I can understand each word you're saying, then you are doing a good job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's just hard to do, man.
Like Tech Nine's whole camp. Like I can understand them, and they're rapping fucking fast.
Yeah, Tech Nine's crazy, bro. I'm a huge Tech Nine fan, so like it's funny because like a song like Worldwide Choppers, like the reason why I'm so like big on like rappers who can do that is because like when I was a kid, like Worldwide Choppers, man, that shit like made me look at rap so different, bro. I was like, holy shit, like rap, so I didn't know you could, like, this is like a thing, so like I always like mention it to people because I have a lot of friends who shit on fast, like the fast rap, man.
Interesting.
It's very fascinating. I'm like, all right, so you make fun of this, but like, so I can make fun of the music you listen to, but I don't do that because I just don't do that. It's like, I think people like what they like,
I think actually that brings me to another point. I think in hip hop and in life and stuff, I just think there's kind of a divide where people are kind of thinking absolute. So if like you can only like that, like, the stuff that's a little more melodic, or you can only like the fast, hard shit. But like then sometimes those artists work together and can create something dope. Like,
true, yeah.
I don't know. I try to listen to everything, and not even just the music, but I listen to people's opinions. So I don't know. I like everything.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you on that, man. I'm glad you said that because I do feel like there are definitely people out there who are like, oh, if you can't like Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Like you have to like I mean, like people be like that, like people be thinking that way about certain things. It's like you can like anything, like you can combine any interest together when it comes to music. Yeah, like you can you can like Future and you can like Tech Nine. Like what I mean, like they're very different artists, but you can like both. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely a good point that you brought up though, man, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
I thought something funny though, not to cut you off though, but would you guys ever rap with autotune? I don't think I've ever heard you rap in autotune. You guys ever do it? I had to
ask. No.
I know Hero would, but
I know Hero would. I have actually, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It depends. Like, as long as something's within my style, I'm willing to experiment with it. So, like, I'm down to, like, I think as long as, like, something sounds dope, I would fuck with it, and like everyone's got a different ear for stuff. I would certainly work with someone whose style was like centered to that, as long as they're dope, because like as Hero said, the lyrical content still like has to be there for me, you know what I mean? So like as long as they can like give me a hard ass verse or a hook or whatever, like I don't know, I'm in. So.
Just go in on it.
But I've done it actually, and you'll hear some of that stuff in my new releases and whatnot.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Definitely looking forward to that one for sure, man. In terms of just like the rap scene right now, what do you guys think of just the popularity of hip hop? Does it ever blow your mind that hip hop is like the shit? Like right now, it's like the number one genre. Do you guys ever think about where like hip hop's come? Like, you ever think about that to yourself? Cause like I look at hip hop nowadays and I'm just like damn, like we're in the number one genre right now. Like like there was a time like having the rock band was a thing. You know what I mean? Now it's like people want to be a rapper. Do you guys ever think about that?
Yeah, but that was way before our time.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, people in the 70s were like, "What the fuck's this hip hop shit?
Yeah,
it's whack." Yeah, like that shit's never gonna stay. And it's the number one genre right now, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
I've been fortunate enough to been living in this time for all of hip hop's popularity, and I mean EDM's been getting up there and stuff like that, but I think hip hop's staying.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hear you on that, man. And the reason why I even go there, because like you see the term pop music. Genres are weird nowadays, man. Like, but like, what is pop music now? Like, is pop music just popular music, or is there certain pops? Like it's like I always go back to that. But I mean, like, it's definitely interesting to see because like you guys could say like eventually you could end up being pop stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, rap stars are pop stars, rap stars are
right.
rock stars. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely gotten to that point though. So I think that's cool though, man. Would you guys say would you rather be a rock star or a rap star? What term would you use though?
That's interesting. I don't know how important it is. Probably a rap star. Like,
yeah.
I think I don't know. One thing that is always going to be important to me is like authenticity to my element, and like
I feel
I'm willing to experiment. I don't know. That's. I feel like that's more of. I don't know if that term is more related to the music or to the kind of person I am in the media or whatever.
No, I feel you on that. Yeah, I asked that just because, like, when rappers say, like, rock star, it's like, why are you devaluing hip-hop? Like, you can say you're a rap star, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right,
like,
you're right.
Like, you can say you're a rap star, you know what I mean? Like, rap's the shit, you know what I mean? That's not a shot at, like, anyone who's called himself, like, a rock star, like Post Malone or Lil Wayne, because obviously they've done that, but, like, I definitely think, say you're a rap star, put it out there, you know what I mean? So, yeah, because everybody's trying to get that rap sound, man. Like, you hear, like, Bieber's new album, a bunch of trap-like beats, you know what I mean? It's all over the place, so.
That's funny. We were just listening to the Many Men thing that he never actually put it out, but it was, like, on his...
Many Men?
He did a little, like, rendition of that 50 Cent song.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And, like, I mean, he's not bad at rapping. I'll give it to him. Like, I haven't heard that new album or anything. I've definitely heard that Yummy song, but but no. I mean, yeah, he's not bad at rapping. Like, it was better than I expected. I didn't think he'd rap.
Dude, you have
like
now
that.
gone on record saying that. You have now gone on record saying that you like Justin Bieber's rapping.
Hey,
you can't take it back.
Justin
Bieber can spit. Hey, if you got bars, you got bars, man.
Yeah. Hey.
The thing is, though, like, what I will say is, like, when you do see someone rap, like, they have, like, one good rap, it's like, all right, well, how many times can they do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a serious question, man. I mean, because, like, there's people out there who are like, oh, I'm going to be a rapper. And they write 10 songs. And they're like, I can't. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Like,
yo, I think about that shit every day, and it scares the shit out of me.
The last song you ever write, you never know.
The last song I'm gonna write.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because like that's with
funny.
rap, it's like just obviously speaking in general and writing songs in general, like you're just formulating words in like certain ways. But I think of like pop songs and stuff, it's like they're basically just putting notes and on the beats for hip hop and stuff are notes or chords in a certain sound and a certain progression, or they might do something to the instruments to make it unique to that. But I feel like I definitely do talk about the same things on certain records. You know what I mean? It can be hard, especially when I'm trying to put out tons of content. But I don't even think it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, I don't think so, honestly, man. I mean, there's rappers who use the same flow every song, and that's cool. It's really not a bad thing if a rapper uses the same flow. Like, it's cool to know what a certain rapper to expect from a certain rapper. Like, that's fine with me. Like, and because if it sounds dope, it sounds dope. Like, keep doing that thing. We like it. So I definitely think people like make fun of certain artists. They're like, oh, like all of his songs sound like this, all of his songs sound like that. It's well, that's what the people want. Like, they want it to sound. They want that sound. They want them to keep making that. So I definitely think just give the people what they want, man. But in terms of just like off the dome, though, do you guys like freestyling? Do you guys practice that like on your own time?
I do. I like to write though. I like for my songs and stuff. There have been times where I've like gone in the booth and freestyled, and I might come up with like a dope hook, but I'm gonna lay that vocal again just because like I want to get the cadences right and stuff.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Some artists have a real talent for that. Like I do think Juice WRLD was very dope. Like I've seen some of his freestyles, and he's off the top too because they're giving him words and shit. So I can freestyle, but I'm not. I definitely like focus on my writing more. That's my focus.
No, that's good though. I mean, it's just focus on one thing and hone in on that. I always feel like at the end of the day though, like just writing it down always helps like so much more. You know what I mean? It just puts it all together. In terms of, for you, Hero, do you like freestyling a lot, man? Or you focus more on like writing it all down?
I definitely focus more on writing. As for freestyling, I don't know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, using like if you go to a cypher or go to like a just like hanging out on the street or whatever and like, yo, kick a freestyle. Like sometimes I'll kick a written or whatever. But I mean, like I spend so much time writing those lyrics. Like fucking why not?
Yeah, and that's the thing when people are like, yo, spit some, and then you do, and they're like, yo, is that a freestyle? And like you're just like, no.
If somebody asks me if it's a freestyle, I'm not gonna like if someone says, is that a freestyle, I'm gonna say no. But like if they don't ask me, they can believe that.
Yeah, sometimes so you should let them believe it. I don't blame you. I've definitely rap some written and did not tell people it was a written for sure. I've definitely been there before. I ain't gonna lie. I'm definitely that was off the dome. Freaking like triple entendres and alliteration are in it. It's like how you freestyle that, Like it's like a Black Thought. Like Black Thought did freestyle, right? When he was on Hot 97, that was off the dome, right? That was like 15 minutes. I don't know how you.
Sure. I've seen that.
We'll never know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's still awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Even if it's not a freestyle, he's very talented. I think a lot of artists when they come on the radio, definitely use writtens. It's interesting because like a lot of the time, you don't even find them overlapping with any of their verses from their projects or songs, and so that means certain people like are always writing new shit to be prepared to be on the radio or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's a grind in itself. Just having verses that you may never use or just like throwaways,
Yeah, I know, right?
I do that too, but I don't really memorize them, So.
Yeah, it kind of just goes away, because you're not like rapping it that much anymore. But nah, I feel you on that, man. But I mean, like at the end of the day, though, just as long as you're spitting something dope, I think people know nowadays, like to, if something says freestyle, it's probably not freestyle, and that's okay. Like it's not, no one's gonna, hurt, be mad at you for that. But in terms of writer's block, have you guys come across that at all in your career, or is that something that you've fortunately avoided?
I guess I have. Usually I just get distracted though. Like if I put my mind to it, I can write. Will it be my best work if I'm kind of forcing myself? Not necessarily, but I always find that I usually do have to, depending on the subject matter. It's rare that I can just write a verse without having to force myself at least a little bit to think of shit. It's not usually just there for me. So I get distracted, like if I'm in the studio and and I'm on my computer, you know what I mean? Which is something that like is a bad habit to procrastinate. It's like, okay, I got to check this email. I got to find this thing this kid sent me on Facebook. Then I'm on Facebook looking at memes or something. I'm like, yo, I need to get this so I can like finish up this verse or whatever.
Four more bars. Come on.
But yeah, distraction is like the biggest kind of block for me when writing.
Nah, I hear you, man. Yeah, you just gotta find a way to block all that stuff off. Turn off the TV or whatever. Which is probably why some people probably prefer to write their lyrics down. Get away from the phone. But what about you, Hero? In terms of writer's block, writer's block. Okay. Yeah. No, you good. Yeah.
No, speaking of getting distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what vinyls those are.
Yeah.
As far as writers, I mean, it happens sometimes. But I feel like I can always pick it back up. But sometimes I'm so dead set in a direction I want to go with the lyrics that I write myself into a trap. And I just don't know. I don't know how to fix it. So I need like a little time to just figure it out.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
As far as it happens sometimes.
Nah, definitely, man. Writer's block is definitely the scariest thing for any songwriter, man. I've definitely had some. I've had like some serious writer's block in the past, though, man. Like I've gone like 3 months without writing a song, 3-4 months, like a long time. You know what I mean? But then like I came back and wrote like 6 songs in like 2 days, some shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just break out of it out of nowhere. It's just always interesting to see other people's writing process, because there's people out there who will write like 50 songs, man, in like a month.
Yeah, that's
crazy. That's serious work ethic, man. Not even just work ethic. It's just like man, how you even crank out all those like songs? Like how many of those are even good? You know what I mean? You gotta ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's very interesting in terms of how different artists put it all together, man. Because some people, they some people write 12 songs for a project, and those are the 12 songs for the project. Some people write 50 songs and cut it down to 15. You know what I'm saying? So
it's interesting. I think real quick, like it's helped me to focus on getting shit out. I did like that 30 video thing in November.
Dude, yeah.
Which helped me.
That's crazy, man. Talk about that, yo.
Yeah. Well, I guess, so that was just kind of like a little challenge I did.
That's crazy, man. I was like, holy
shit.
Dude.
So that really helped me get out of the overthinking thing, which I think is like a double-edged sword, we could say. It's got its pros and its cons, because like one of my favorite hip-hop albums of the 2010s is like Good Kid, Mad City, That's like regarded as a
legendary album. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I know that's an album that a lot of songs were thrown out for because they didn't fit exactly the picture he was trying to paint. So it's like it's interesting. Certain people put out like multiple projects a year, but then maybe they're not as dope. Like they don't have the impact of that. So it's interesting.
And just emotion, or like you have a I'm pretty sure like the Weeknd, he was gonna drop like a super like love album, like happy album, and like got broken up with, and he didn't want to put it out. He's like, this now I don't feel like this anymore. Imagine what dope music he might have made. And he's just scrapping that. But I mean, when you're an artist of that caliber, you can kind of get away with not putting. You can scrap some shit and start over. You got teams behind you and people to help you out with that. Though, do you guys have a lot of stuff that you'll never release that you're sitting on, or you have stuff that like I'm gonna release this eventually?
I'm kind of weird, so let me just start it off right there. I'm kind of weird.
We don't know.
So I'm kind of weird. If it's out, that's what I finished. There's nothing.
Yeah.
If I died right now, nothing. Nothing.
It's all.
I have everything that I'm working on for my next project, and that's it. If it's finished, it's out. But if it's finished, it is 100% up to my standards. So if I did not believe in this song, throw it out.
Toss that shit. Yeah.
And transition the lyrics from one song to another. Sometimes I'll get halfway through writing a song and it'll just be like, I'm not feeling this beat or whatever. So I'll transition them to another one. And I'm fortunate enough that has worked a lot.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. I definitely I think it's just a good way to go about it, man. Definitely. I always feel tough like holding stuff back, man. Like I got it there, and I'm just like, what can I do to amp it up? Especially if you put money behind the beat, or you really if the beat's dope, you're like, oh, like you can make something out of it. But it's definitely something you gotta rework out. Like in terms of like rewriting verses, do you guys ever go back to do you ever rewrite verses, or like when you write something, is it set in stone? Because usually for me personally, like I rarely rewrite shit. Rarely,
I don't usually, but it's interesting because we were just talking before we went live. We were talking about that rowdy track that we did together.
Yeah, man. I should
call me a man in the max. I got the facts and the facts and the facts.
Yeah, so like that's a song. Hero, I sent him the beat. I got it from my man Martian Powers. Shout out to Martian Powers.
Beat's dope. That beat's dope.
Facts. Yeah. So I sent it to Hero. We were gonna get another kid on it originally, but it ended up just being me and Hero. And he sends me a hook like later that night, and I'm like, yo, this shit's crazy. I'm like, this is like, I'm like, and it wasn't like anything I'd really heard from Hero before, just like that different like style of beat, like those keys,
trappiness too.
I was just like, this shit's fire. This is a crazy track. So he sent me a verse a little while later, and I wrote a verse, and I wasn't sure how long I was gonna make it and stuff. And like the first verse I wrote, I did a little demo. I sent it to a couple people, and like one kid was like, yo, like. Because one thing I try not to do, at least on certain records, is like part of being a rapper. I'm definitely gonna rap about how I'm a rapper sometimes. You know what I mean?
Course,
or about how I'm gonna kill these other rappers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you gotta have the ego bars. Yeah. So you gotta have them there. It's very important.
Facts. But that song wasn't the song for it, and that was kind of what my verse was before. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna throw this shit out. I'm gonna rewrite it. And it's a dope joint. Like when we do it at shows, people get crazy. Like. That hook, we keeping them rowdy.
Yeah, that shit hard.
Catchy, you know what
I
mean? Yeah,
we give it that. That shit gets some plays going, man.
So you're telling me that I was not supposed to go egotistical? Because I literally started the verse off as greatest alive. You know that I'm the top of your top list.
Well, that worked. You know what I mean? Like the way what I had
right off with the
I don't know. I'd have to listen.
Right to it.
I'd have to listen to that old verse because I definitely have some cocky shit in there too. But
of course, man.
I'd have to listen to that old verse I had, but like that worked. I'm not hating on that verse. That's a dope verse.
No, it is.
Greatest alive. You know that I'm the top
of
the top list.
Y'all both body that.
But then
shit,
when you
man.
get into, I could just call me a mid of the max. Like all the like little references. I run with the players and hunt like a gators, but I could just come like a gat. Like. I don't know if I even said it right there, but but it's just dope, like that little like that flow. It just really works for that kind of the vibe of that, like the anthem shit.
No, definitely, man. That one definitely has a just a good energetic vibe to it, man. We're talking about energetic songs, but in terms of like writing like deeper, like more like introspective songs on like shit you guys been through, have you guys see yourself going more to that lane in the future with the stuff you're putting out? Is that the direction you're going in?
For me, certainly a little bit. Like Out of the Shadows was kind of, it wasn't.
I was gonna say there was a few songs off the Shadows.
That was definitely
that way.
Yeah,
I was like, that's some deep shit right here.
That's definitely kind of the theme of that project, and like the Out of Time joint I just dropped with Ren Thomas is definitely that kind of record. I don't know if I want to say nervous. I was nervous about putting it out, but I don't know what I was expecting, because a lot of especially the songs I've done videos for, which obviously are going to get more traction than just like any of my other songs are.
For sure, yeah.
That one was just more kind of vulnerable and honest, and so it was. I think that's going to be something I do sometimes. Not all the time, but definitely sometimes.
No, for sure, man. You definitely got to have a few of those, like, damn, he's talking about some deep shit right here. Oh, you're going in, man. You know what I mean? So you definitely need to throw that in there. Hero, you ever had songs that you had, like, lyrics in there? Like, damn, I can't believe I'm about to say this shit in the song. Like, people are going to hear this. Like, oh, damn, I hope I'm ready. I hope people are ready to hear what I have to say here. Like
as far as sad shit?
Yeah, just so deep, anything. It's personal. Yeah.
I do go deep
controversial
in a few of my songs.
Yeah.
And I'm so like bipolar in nature that when I write these songs, it's really like it really hits home the fact that I've been through some fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you listen to songs like Actually and The Thing About Me and Look, Listen and Credits, it's a lot of shit that I've been through. And with Mission Hill, I was happy to finally share it, And with Maximum Carnage, I was even happy to sprinkle that throughout too.
Nah, for sure, man. I think as artists, it's the power of music is very strong. So I think it's always important at the end of the day for artists to throw in, if it's on market for what you do, because obviously some artists are not in the lane to drop a super deep shit. Like, I get that, but if you're able to talk about it and get it out there, you should, because I think it really, like, you never know who's listening and what that can do. So I always let artists know that, man. Like, if you can have room to make certain songs like that where you can dive into it, go for it, because Yeah. You guys have. We all have heard music that has changed how we feel and like changed our lives. We probably have all songs like that. So I always let artists know to do that if they can. So definitely, man.
Yeah.
In terms of what y'all got next that you want to let the people know, like big announcements coming up, big things that we haven't mentioned yet. What you guys got going next? That you ready to have the people share?
This is a TempahZone exclusive.
Okay, yeah.
I'm working on a project called The Foundation.
Oh,
and and in April, Guru has officially been dead for 2 years. 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Which is
R.I.P.
I mean, hip hop misses him every day.
Yeah.
And there are definitely people carrying the torch, and I want it to be known that I'm one of them.
Hell yeah, man.
And it's something that I need to put out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and a lot of my shit is Gangstar inspired, but this one's for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to have it out sometime, I don't know, this summer.
No, for sure, man.
10 to 15 tracks, something like that.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope, man. Guru's a legend, man. Guru, you gotta put respect on Guru's name for sure, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I think for me, the singles thing isn't something I've really announced until now, so that's kind of what I'm working on.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, give it. You might as well give it a go.
Yeah, a project is not. It's possible. It's not necessarily something I'll do. Like, I still want to stick with this, drop a song.
Yeah.
Every week.
You
but like maybe one of those weeks I drop a project on the people. You know what I mean? And
feeling it, yeah.
Me and here, like, we got some other shit we're working on. I just did a verse for that project, and I'm trying to think. We did that Bars Over Bars track. Yeah, we got another song that we're working on that's produced by Yeti actually. So yeah, we got some other stuff we're working on. We don't want to. We've talked about. I don't want to like. This isn't certain or anything. We've talked about like doing a project and stuff like that, which I think would be dope. I think Boston would benefit, but.
I can totally see. I was definitely. It's funny. I didn't even think to ask like that. Like you two on a project together, man. Like a collab EP or something. Yeah.
The reason that I like Greyhound so much, and the reason why we're business partners in Bars Over Bars, is because he's such a different MC, and that's not a bad thing. He's a versatile MC.
Mm-hmm.
He can rap on anything, and I say I can rap on anything, but Greyhound can rap on anything and about anything and everything. And if I were to work with somebody who's just like me, I mean, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
I need someone in my corner who can tell me that this is some whack shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I really benefit from having someone like Greyhound because he is a different MC. You know? And and when we do drop a project, it's gonna be combining our flavors. And it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think Hero and we definitely have similarities in sort of the ways we rhyme and stuff, but the flow, the cadences, there's definitely the production choices. There's a lot of differences.
Y'all very keen on your word choices, man.
I mean, I think I can out-rap Greyhound. I think I can put you in a lyrical body bag.
But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a battle rapper, but
are y'all confident if y'all rap battle each other? You think you would win if you beat Hero? And Hero, do you think you'd beat Greyhound?
My shit goes really deep. Greyhound, like shit goes over Greyhound's head, and he's like, I didn't even fucking think about that. Damn. No, but man, I think
at least you got the confidence.
I'm stirring it up at the end of the episode, man.
No, but I think you're fantastic, and I think that I am not a versatile MC. And I think that you got me beat because you can really rap. You can really bring out the topics. And me, I'm either aggressively lyrical or aggressively sad. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I think, I try like. That's interesting because I think I tend to think of myself in a certain box because I make some kind of things that are just like anthems. Don't really have necessarily a strict subject matter. They're just kind of like egotistical bops, people like to hear that shit.
No, for sure, man. Yeah.
And then I definitely do make songs like some of the stuff I got unreleased, like you talked about deep songs. I definitely got some stuff where I go into more depth about like who I am because I think.
Yeah, I remember there was a song at your show. The last show I saw that you did, that was like, damn, that's some deep shit.
Yeah, it was probably No Tomorrow. Yeah, that's like a record I had on Out of the Shadows, which I'm a big fan of. Which I just kind of did like some more singing and shit. And I just kind of went into detail, like, but yeah, I got this track. It's probably not going to drop till May, but it's called Little Man. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, y'all are going to hear that eventually. I'll probably play that for Hero at some point because it's finished, it's mastered. I got to get the cover art and get it through the distributor and stuff. But
once that's popping,
that's an exclusive to the TempahZone as well. I wasn't even going to announce that till it got closer. But I mean, I got a lot of stuff. dropping before that, so the people we'll have plenty of Greyhound to analyze.
Nah, yeah, hell yeah, man. Look.
Look.
Hell yeah.
Greyhound, look.
Yo, I do that
For those of you who don't know Greyhound and Hero like that, Greyhound, like, on every song, he just hit you with a look. Before he starts it off. I think that's dope, man. Have your little slogan out there. Shit catches on so well. I see you over post people use it. I think that's dope, man. I definitely just in terms, y'all were telling each other in terms of how y'all like help each other out. But from my perspective, man, I said it before at the beginning of this podcast, man. Y'all got serious work ethic, bro, and I just gotta get that point through again. I think it's really good what you guys are doing for the city. And I look forward to seeing what happens with y'all, man. I definitely I tell my people about y'all. I constantly share y'all music, and I think what we're doing, what we do separately, I think it's a great example for what everyone in Boston should be seeing and what we should be doing out here. So I fuck with y'all, man. Y'all, we all know we're on the same page. So I think, I appreciate what y'all doing out here for sure, man. Before we get out of here, though, is there anything y'all want to plug for the people, man? Where can they find y'all? Where can they follow y'all?
Yeah, on social media, I'm at It's the Greyhound, one word, ITSTHEGREYHOUND. If you missed that, bring the video back. That's on everything. Instagram is the main platform, but Facebook, everything. And I'm on all streaming platforms. Greyhound.
Hell yeah, man! Yeah, follow him, y'all. What about you, Hero?
Real quick.
One thing now, plug
Bars Over Bars. Yeah, I want to plug Bars Over Bars real quick.
Yeah.
We got a Facebook page, Bars Over Bars, and then at Bars Over Bars, IG, Bars Over Bars, and then IG. No underscores or anything.
Hell yeah, and I'll follow that up. Word.
So you can find me at all platforms, social media, Hero Rapping, exactly how it sounds. And Bars Over Bars, just like he said, we're trying to bring hip-hop back. Put the hip-hop back in hip-hop shows.
Bars Over Bars doing big things out here. Greyhound and Hero in the building. Thank y'all for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Happy to have y'all on, man, for real.
Yes,
that's
sir.
Episode 60, y'all. That's how you do episode
60.
Man.
In the books.
In the books, baby.
TempahZone.
Yeah, TempahZone podcast.
Yeah. Make sure y'all tune in for the next episode, all right? But until next time, y'all, peace.